Hello, Bambi from Salon Business Coaching. Thank you to Sharon for asking the question, how do you do a thorough skin consultation which leads into being able to offer a series of treatments and home care? Thank you for the question, Sharon, and I hope this demonstration helps you to achieve more with your skin consultations. So to begin with a skin consultation, I will assume for the purposes of this demonstration that it is a new client that you're meeting. So the first time that you meet a client, it's extremely important to create rapport as quickly as you can. The best way to create rapport with a person when you're meeting them for the first time is maintaining eye contact with that person. It's also making sure that you're warm and open to meeting and knowing that person. So it's smiling, it's being confident in yourself, it's standing tall, feeling centered, and using the client's name at least 3 times. That creates this awareness of, it's an interpretation of, oh, this person knows me. So when you're meeting that person for the very first time, instant eye contact, smile, confidence. How do you do, Bambi? It's lovely to meet you. Please come through to the consultation room and we'll proceed with your treatment for today. When you then take that client through to the consultation room, they have already completed their consultation form in the reception area. So now this is where the thorough consultation commences. So you have your clipboard, you have something so that you're able to write on that consultation form. So the first thing that you need to do in a thorough skin consultation is check all the details that the client has given to you. So you want to check that you've got the spelling of their name, that you can read that, because sometimes it is difficult to interpret some handwriting. So if you need to jot that down next to their handwriting, make sure that you do that. Get the pronunciation of their name right. For instance, Sean, spelled S-E-A-N, you might be unsure, is that Cian, is that Sean? So check with what the pronunciation is of their name. If perhaps their name might be something like Samantha, you might say, do you prefer to be called Samantha or Sam? Get what they're comfortable with. If they're always known as Sam, then that's another step towards creating that instant rapport that we discussed, because they feel then that they know you because you're using the name that they're familiar with. Make sure that you've got their mobile phone number, you've got their email address. Let the client know that we require your email address because we reward all our clients with a special surprise gift on their birthday. If you know what that is, then let them know. But that's why you want their email details. You can even take that a step further to make them feel comfortable and let them know that if you're not interested in receiving any sort of promotions that our clinic does, I can make a note of that on your file. Okay, and all point of sale systems should have that facility. Mine always had that facility, was available. So then you start to go through the consultation. Now you should always allow time when you're booking your client in for that first facial experience with you. I would always let my clients know this is a complimentary skin consultation as you're a first-time client with us. So we're going to allow an extra 15 minutes for that. So the client is pre-prepared before they've arrived. So they're now expecting that skin consultation. So then you work your way through the consultation form. There's nothing worse than you go to a clinic and you fill out a consultation form and it's left on the front desk, come through and away they go. So why did I fill that consultation form out? She's barely given it a glance. So always take that in with you. It's far more professional. So some of the questions that you want to know for the first time client is, how did they hear about you? This is really important for your marketing going forward. So you always want to know that. Their health. Do they have any existing health problems? Now sometimes people, they don't want to disclose that at the first visit. They don't know you, so they're not going to necessarily open up and say, oh well, I've got this and I've got that. So you can sometimes sense from an age group that there's going to be some sort of issue that would help you to make their experience better. So for instance, if it was somebody in my age category, for instance, I might be suffering with a sore neck, a sore back, aching joints, and it just comes with age. It's just a progression of how some people feel in this age category. So look for that. So it can be, is there any pain anywhere in your body that I should be aware of? Do you suffer occasionally from any neck pain? And they might actually not even think that that is important for their treatment, but it actually is. When you're doing the facial and you're doing any sort of massage around that neck area, you need to know prior to that. So always be asking things like that. Do they have any lower back pain? If they're working, doing exercise for a long time, do they get lower back pain? That's your key indicator there to know, okay, I need to prop something under this client's knees for the duration of their facial service. So it's always looking ahead, thinking what's going to make the experience amazing for your client. The next thing that you want to ascertain is, are they on any medications, especially older women, if they're on any blood thinners, and in this day and age it doesn't matter what age group they are, if they're on any vitamin A. So you want to establish that as well. If they are on some form of vitamin A, dig a bit deeper. And why are you using the vitamin A? And go into it. Show your knowledge then of how much you know about vitamin A. That again starts to build that know, like and trust factor. All of the consultation form is an exercise in building know, like and trust. So it's absolutely key. Are they allergic to anything? Some people forget that they might be allergic to vinyl gloves or band-aids, or that there's a particular cream that they might have been using that gave them a bit of a redness on their skin. So ask, okay? So then you're going to get into their skin. You've asked them already what products are they currently using. Are they using a cleanser, a toner, a moisturizer, a scrub? Are they using a face soap, mask, eye cream, serums, self-tanners, body moisturizers, body exfoliants? You want to know what they're currently using on their skin. So they will have already indicated that they are using some of these products. Ask them what brands that they're using. See if it is that they're using, you know, Olay or something, a supermarket brand. Don't assume that, oh yes, this client's really looking after their skin, they're using lots of products, but they might all be from the local supermarket. So you want to check what they're using. The next step is to check how often they are using that product. Some people might just be using a cleanser every second or third day in the shower. Some people might be using a face mask once a month. So you need to establish that, because all of that is red flags and ding, ding, ding. Their skin can be so much better because they're actually not using their current skincare as well as they could be. So then you want to establish, have they had chemical peels in the past, microdermabrasion, any sort of photorejuvenation, any sort of treatments on their skin in the past? If they say yes, that's an indicator to you that you now have a client in front of you that is interested in investing in their skin. If they say no, that means that this person needs more information because they may have never been exposed to what's available and what's out there. And the younger people that are coming through now to beauty salons, they don't know what's on offer. So never ever assume. You must always educate your client on what's available to them. Of course, then you want to know, have they had any fillers within the last few weeks? Because of course that's going to alter the treatment that you do for today. Do they use any sort of self-tanners? Solariums are now gone in Australia, so they wouldn't be using that. Have they been in the sun? If it's summer here at the moment, or it's just ticked over to autumn, but it's still really sunny, have they been to the beach? Have they been exposed to the sun? So you want to know that as well. Then you would like to know if they participate in any regular physical exercise, because you don't want to give them a beautiful treatment only for them to then go to their 2 o'clock gym class and undo all of that beautiful work that you've just done. So you need to establish, do they do physical routines, and let them know if they can just postpone that for at least 24, 48 hours, depending what service you do. A very important question, which is always overlooked, is, are you claustrophobic? Now, there's various grades and levels and forms of claustrophobia. With a lot of masks these days, they go over the eye area, and the only part left exposed is just under the nose, the nostrils. Now, for somebody who is extremely claustrophobic, that isn't going to work for them. That's going to freak them out. Even simple things like some places will swag you, so to speak, in your the bedding that's on the bed. You're wrapped up like in a little cocoon. For some people, that's too claustrophobic for them. So make sure to check what level they're comfortable with. And that's as simple as, if you're doing a mask, let the client know, with the mask we normally pop it all over the face area. Would you be comfortable with that, or would you like me to leave the eyes and the mouth free of the product today? And some people might go, oh no, that's fine, you know, their claustrophobia only kicks in if, say, they're in an elevator or something. So you need to ascertain. Don't ever assume, always ask. And if you go to do a process during the procedure, the facial, where you might be placing a hot towel all over the face and leaving it there for a few minutes, check with the client. Just gently let them know, are you comfortable with this over your face? And they're just simply going to go yes or no, but they're going to appreciate you asking. Because if you don't ask, the terror that rises, the fear, and the rush of adrenaline in that person, it's just going to ruin the whole experience for them. So be very mindful of that. Then, of course, you want on your questionnaire, on your consult form, you've asked your client to indicate what areas of concern that they would like addressed in their treatment for today. So if, for instance, they might say it's fine lines around the eye area, or it's dark circles under the eyes, you want to be really cognizant of what they're saying. If they're saying, I'm really concerned about the dark circles under my eyes, but you're sitting there looking at a face that is full of acne, and you're thinking, well, I'd actually be addressing the acne, not the dark circles under the eyes, that at this point isn't relevant. You have to listen to what the client wants. So if the client is saying to you, well, my number one concern with my skin at the moment is the dark circles under my eyes, you want to mirror back to the client what their key concern is. So therefore you would say to the client, I understand that the dark circles around your eyes are your number one skin concern. And let the client confirm yes. Because what the client now does, her brain is saying to her, this person understands me. They can hear what I'm saying. They understand that that is my concern. So that's what you have to then build on and address in everything that precedes, is the dark circles under their eyes, because that's relevant and important to them. Okay, so you can go through any other points or areas that the client might feel that they have a concern with. And you can say to the client at this point, when I do a skin consultation, I cleanse your skin and get you under the Maggie lamp, I'll have a look at your skin and let you know what I can tell you about the condition of your skin. Now, another good question is, if you were to look into the future in a magic mirror, how would you like your skin to look and feel? Because some people are visual and some are auditory, so it's how would you like it to look, how would you like it to feel is kinesthetic, what would you like people to say about your skin is auditory. So you cover that client's what resonates with that client. So the client might say to you, well, when I look in the mirror, all I can see is flawless skin. The dark circles from under my eyes are gone. Listen to that, because that client has just said flawless skin, and you might have picked up that they have acne or congestion. Okay, so make a note of that. All of these things, as the client is talking to you, you're writing this down. You're making notes. Don't just sit there, oh yes, okay, No, write it down. I guarantee you won't be able to remember every single thing that that client says. So you need to be making notes as you go along. For female clients, are they on contraception? Are they due or having a period? Or could they be pregnant? And a male client, you can ask them if they experience ingrown hairs on their face or a shaving rash. And then of course an important thing to ask them is, what sort of massage pressure do they like? Because during the service you're obviously going to be massaging, there'll be a massage component, so you want to know, does that client like a firm, medium or light massage? When you come to do that massage in the treatment, always very quietly ask the client, as you're applying that pressure, is this pressure okay? Because there's nothing worse than your interpretation of light pressure is not the client's interpretation of light pressure. Because again, if your new facial client is between 18 and 29, they may have never experienced a facial, they may never have experienced a massage of any type, so they're really guessing, okay, I'll go firm pressure. And yet when you actually apply that firm pressure, they're thinking, oh, that's too much, I'm uncomfortable. So always check with the client if the pressure is okay. So now you have asked these questions of your client. As you're speaking to your client, to create that rapport, you can maintain eye contact in between making your notes. The other thing to do where possible is to mirror your client's body language. So if your client, for instance, was sitting on a chair opposite you and they had their arm up like this on the chair, it's probably a little bit difficult for you, but if you can, perhaps in between writing, you mirror their position. If they're sitting there with one leg crossed over the other, you sit there with one leg crossed over the other. Any body position that the client has that you're able to mirror is highly recommended. That creates rapport. The other thing to do when you're going through your consultation with your client, let's assume that the client is sitting on the bed and you're sitting in a chair or on your stool. You always want to be at eye level with your client, or your client is slightly higher position than you. You do not want to be the one sitting up on the bed casually writing these notes while the client is sitting down in a lower position on a chair. That does not create good rapport. You want to reverse that situation, okay? So now that you have done your consultation, well, you've gone through the consultation form, now you're going to advise your client, based on the feedback you've just received, what service that you are going to deliver to the client today. So you can then go into detail about, right, so today, Bambi, I would like to offer the da-da-da-da-da facial, and the benefit to you will be da-da-da-da-da, and during that facial you have the option to obtain an even greater result if you would like to upgrade to da-da-da-da-da, which is an extra da-da-da-da-da. Always tell people how much extra an upgrade is. You do not want to get caught out like I did once with the therapist saying, oh, and you can have the booster serum if you like, we can add that on. And the client just went, yeah, sure. And when she came out to reception, did not realise that the booster serum was an extra cost. Of course, we put it through as complimentary, but you need to be very clear to clients that any upgrade has a cost attached to it. There's nothing worse than they've had an amazing experience, they come out to reception and all of a sudden $150 service that they booked in for and was aware of has blown out to $190 because they didn't realise that it was $40 for the upgrade. So always be upfront with your clients, they will appreciate it. As you're going through your consultation form with your client, you also want to be nodding as your client is answering you and telling you what their concerns are. It's important to maintain the eye contact and nod that you are listening to what your client is saying. You are the solution finder. You are gathering all this information from your client in order that you can then prescribe the solution. That's your purpose. You have to be absolutely brimming with confidence that you know exactly what your client needs. Your client needs to feel that confidence from you. There is nothing worse than you explain to a therapist everything that you need addressed, and then the therapist just goes, okay, let's get started. No, you need to let that client know the solution to the problems they've just presented to you. So if they're saying dark circles around my eyes is my concern, that's where you say, as I just previously said, today I would like to perform da-da-da service that will address da-da-da-da, whatever their main concern is, and the benefits to you, da-da-da-da. Okay, so it's always you've presented them with a solution to their problem. They now know, like, and trust you because you've listened, you've been thorough, you've created rapport with the client, and it's always, thank you, Bambi. Now that I have that consultation and we've had this chat, I can see that you need da-da-da-da-da service today, and the benefit to you, Bambi, will be da-da-da-da-da. How does that sound? And wait for your client to acknowledge, oh yes, that sounds great, let's get started. At this point in the consultation, you can also take it a step further at this point because you've recognised the problem, you've given them a solution for today's service, and to take it even further ahead is to give the client a goal to achieve. So if the client through the consultation has said, yes, it's dark circles under my eyes, and yes, I'm quite dehydrated as well, and I do have a problem of an oily T-zone, whatever else is uncovered in the consultation, that's your opportunity to let the client know one treatment won't fix all of these issues today, but what you can do is offer them a solution, which is a treatment plan. So to obtain the results, Bambi, that you're looking for, to eliminate the dark circles under your eyes, have hydrated skin, eliminate the acne breakouts on your chin, I'm going to recommend a series of treatments that once completed, you will achieve the goal that you desire to have Okay? At the conclusion of our service today, I will jot down a treatment plan for you, and we can even discuss that at the conclusion of the facial. But I would like to see you every 2 weeks. In fact, I would change that language and I would say, I will need to see you every 2 weeks to achieve the fastest result to get you to your goal. If, for example, it's just hydration, for instance, then you might say, I will need to see you every 4 weeks. We'll do service, then we'll move over to and And by the time you've completed those, you will be well and truly on the way to amazing skin, and we can reassess where your skin is at, and we can devise a new goal and plan if we need to. So that's how you've planted the seed that you're going to create a series of treatments for this client going forward. It's not a one-hit wonder. You don't go to the gym once and you walk out going, whoa, I'm so toned and I've lost all this weight. And it's the same with skin. And you can explain that to your clients as well, that it's not a one-hit wonder. It is a series of treatments that gets you to your goal. Now, I could go through the entire steps that you need to take through the treatment itself, but I'm not going to here today. I'm just working on the thorough consultation side of things for you, Sharon. So you've done the consultation, you then move into the treatment. After the treatment, then it's a case of when the client has redressed, you ask them to take a seat in the treatment room, not to meet you out the front at reception. You don't want to break that connection in that room. Rooms are usually more dimly lit, and when they walk from a dimly lit treatment room out to the bright lights of reception, it's this, and the connection is lost. Okay, it's like as soon as they're at that treatment door, okay, so from here I have to go and do the shopping and I have to pick up Johnny, and yes, okay, the moment is you've lost the zone. So stay in the zone with that client. So the client has completed the treatment, they're redressed, they're sitting on a chair, they're having a beautiful herbal tea. You come back into the room, you have the treatment plan all written out for the client. You also have a presentation. My girls had a little cane basket, and they would pop all the treatment home care products that the client would need along with a tester and take those through to the client. And then you need to work through with the client. Now, to maintain the results that we've achieved today, I would like to see you start with and you can say to the client, if you were to take on a full home care regime, these are all the products that I would like to see you eventually be on. And it might be 6 or 8. Now, it does happen that clients walk out with all 6 and 8. I've had that happen. But more often than not, the client will walk out with 2 or maybe 3 products to take with them for home care. But by explaining the complete home care package and what each individual item will be of benefit to the client, and offering them, focus in on the 3 products that you think would be most valuable to them. So if you think The three most valuable products today is a cleanser, an eye serum, and a sunscreen, because the client isn't using one. So therefore you would really focus in on those three particular products, and you don't ask the client if they would like to purchase those today. You demonstrate the products and you say, do you have any questions? And wait. You should also have the prices on the bottom of every product that you show the client. One of the big hesitations with clients purchasing home care is they don't know if they're looking at a $50 cleanser or a $150 cleanser. And we all know that we all operate from a point of price most times. So it really does help to alleviate that immediately. So as you're handing the cleanser to the client, as you demonstrate and talk about every product, and you've allowed time within your booking process to do this. My girls always had a turnaround time of 20 minutes. That gave them plenty of time to sit with the client, discuss the home care routine, show them the home care products that are recommended, and it also gave them time to turn over the room. Now, that's for a first-time client. Obviously, as they progress and come back through the treatment series that they're going to return for, you don't need the 15-minute consultation at the beginning of the treatment session, and you don't need a 20-minute block at the conclusion of the session. You might only need 10 minutes. So you adjust this as you go. There's nothing worse than a client has an amazing treatment and you just rush them out the door or rush them through to reception and go, this is the products that I recommended, which ones would you like to take today? They're not going to take them, okay? They want to feel like they're making a really good choice and a good investment in not just these products and their skin, but in you, because you're now going to become their skin therapist. And that's a really big responsibility for you, and you need to appreciate that, and you need the time to solidify that rapport with your client. So after you show the client the products, ask them, do you have any questions? You've alleviated the question of price because they will all be priced. If the client doesn't have any questions, you can say to the client, I would like you to start today with this and this as your two products to get started on, and then we can introduce the other products as we progress through the treatment series. And that's it. They're going to take those products. There's no if and maybe but. They will take those products. So you take those two products and you say, right, I'll take you through to reception now, Bambi, and I will need to see you again for the next treatment in 4 weeks' time. Does a Monday suit you best? Morning or afternoon? Excellent. I'll pop that in for you. Thank you so much for choosing to come to Bambi, who are we now? To ABC Salon today. It was such a pleasure to meet you, and I really look forward to seeing you again, Bambi. Bye now. Use the name. Thank them for coming to your clinic, spa or salon. Thank them. People are just not doing that. And it's just it creates that rapport. And it doesn't cost you anything. Okay? So I hope that has given you some tips. I've got a complete workbook on this where I go through absolutely every single point, but we'll be here forever if I do that. This is that's the thorough training that I would go through with my clients on a one-to-one basis. So I hope you have enjoyed that, Sharon. Pop a comment down below. Let me know if you have got some value out of that.